Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's market outlook. How was your trading day yesterday? I hope it was good. Yesterday's market was again pretty nice and pretty predictable as the US dollar was again trading within this horizontal support and also within this bearish trend, dynamic trend line. Okay, so the US dollar was trading within this range, and although it tried to break through, however, at about 1100 hours, 11 plus 5 would be 1600 hours, which is 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The US dollar weakens back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 hours, touches this support again, and breaks through. Okay, moves down. Okay, so US dollar was mostly bearish yesterday, weakening during the UK trading session at about 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. We do see the UK pound still stubbornly going down against the trend of the US dollar. That means that as the US dollar was weakening from about 4 p.m., the UK pound did not strengthen immediately at 4 p.m. In fact, at 4 p.m. over here, it just had a slight rebound, moving up about 25 pips, and then it weakened further by another 30 pips. Okay, only towards the US trading sessions at about here 1700, which is plus 5, 22, 10 p.m. local Singapore time. Only then did the UK pound move up as the euro dollar was also bullish. Okay, and of course at the time the US dollar extended its bearish move going down, so we do see the UK pound having a strong rebound and also the euro dollar having a strong move up. Okay, so yeah, again very nice and gradual movements, and if you are able to understand the sentiment and what certain chart patterns means, it would not be difficult for you to catch a 30 pip profit from yesterday's movements. So coming back to the economic calendar for today, today's economic calendar is pretty busy. Later on today, currently it's at 11:15 local Singapore and Malaysia time. Later on, I would expect within the next 2 hours or so, Bank of Japan will be releasing their monetary policy statement and also announcing their policy rate. Okay, although on the economic calendar they have not fixed a time, but usually it will come in at about 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. Okay, moving forward towards the afternoon sessions at 2 p.m. the UK will be releasing yearly consumer price index numbers together with producer price index input and output numbers at 2 p.m. also, and towards 4 p.m. the UK's Monetary Policy Committee member Silvana Tenrero will be speaking at 4 p.m. So again, we expect some volatility, especially for the UK pound and also the euro dollar towards the afternoon sessions between 2 to 4 p.m. And moving to the evening session, we will be having the Empire State Manufacturing Index numbers coming out from the US at 8:30 p.m. and at 9:15 p.m. we will be having the monthly industrial production data. If you are trading the if you are trading the Canadian dollar, Bank of Canada will be releasing the monetary policy statement at 10 p.m. followed by a press conference at 11 p.m. And last but not least, we will be having crude oil inventories data coming out at 10:30 p.m. tonight. So let us have a quick look and see what was the economic data results for the last 24 hours and how it impacted the currency markets for yesterday. Okay, so for yesterday, it's a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Again, during yesterday's update and analysis of the economic calendar, we were looking at the UK GDP, monthly GDP. Markets were forecasting a 5.5%, and personally I was expecting it to come below 5.5. The actual data came in at only 1.8%. way below the market expectations of 5.5%. Theoretically, of course, all these data, including construction output and industrial production, were all negative for the UK pound. Okay, so we do see the UK pound dropping at about as early as this candle. Again, server time is 800 hours. You need to add 5 hours to this if you're in Singapore or Malaysia. So 8 plus 5 would be 1300 hours, which is at 1 p.m. local Singapore time. And at 2 p.m. as the data was released, it actually weakened further from 1.2546 to a low of 1.2510. Okay, so it weakened or moved down about 37 pips. Okay, 37 pips. And towards the US trading sessions at about 8 p.m. okay, it was ranging, consolidating, and at about 8 p.m. local Singapore time, the UK pound moved down a further 56 pips. Okay, so from the time of announcement until the US trading session, it moved down about 65 pips, and then after it had a very strong rebound from the low of 1.2479 and closing to touching a high of 1.2563 before closing at 1.2552 levels. Okay, so that was the reaction of the UK pound in terms of the economic data towards the afternoon session, or towards the UK trading session at 2 p.m. And other minor data coming out from Europe. We had the industrial production numbers, which came in at 12.4%, a bit below 14.9%, market expectations of 14.9%. However, the 12.4% was way better than the negative 18.2% recorded in the previous month. Okay, so economic sentiment also improved marginally from the previous month's 58.6 to the yesterday's announcement of 59.6. Again, it is also better than market expectations, so it was largely positive or bullish for the euro dollar. Okay, so from the US, the National Federation of Independent Business Small Business Index data came in at 100.6, above market expectations of 97.5, and better than the previous month's reading of 94.4. So theoretically, this should be bullish for the US dollar. However, we did not see the US dollar going up. Instead, the US dollar continued its bearish move, touching the support again and even breaking below the support levels. Okay, so other data, consumer price index was positive, above expectations. That means consumers are beginning to spend a little bit more on core consumer products and also additional consumer products. Okay, so that was the data for economic data results in terms of the actual results for yesterday, and roughly how it impacted currency prices and also the US dollar. Okay, so just a quick one. Just now we were looking at the list of economic data coming out for today, ending with the crude oil. However, towards early morning on Thursday, we will be having towards the early morning on Thursday at 12 a.m. we will be having the US FOMC member, Mr. Harker, speaking, and also we will have some details on the beige book. Okay, so well, I would think that it should not be having too much of a major impact on the US dollar. However, we need to watch out for what the US dollar or what the major currencies are doing at about 7 to 9 p.m. So it will lead up all the way to this 12 a.m. and also 2 a.m. events. Okay, so the rest of the data is for tomorrow. Okay, so so for today, again, we expect more activity and action happening on currencies and also commodities at about 2 to 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, and towards the evening about 7 to 9 p.m. Other data yesterday, as we saw just now, the US dollar was mostly bearish or weak against the major currencies, and we do see the S&P 500 after dropping in the early morning of Tuesday morning. Okay, Tuesday morning, the S&P 500 at about 21 plus 5 is 26 minus 24, 2 a.m. local Singapore time. The S&P 500 dropped to a large extent together with oil prices, okay, over here, okay, and yeah, and also even silver prices dropped early in the morning on Tuesday morning local Singapore time. Okay, so for yesterday, the S&P 500 managed to consolidate and stage a pretty decent rebound, okay, pushing back up to almost the high of Monday's trading. So it was a good and strong rebound of the equity markets on yesterday. Okay, so that was on the US dollar and a little bit on the S&P 500. And of course, just now we mentioned UK's GDP data came in at positive 1.8%, a bit below, actually way below market expectation of positive 5.5%. However, it was still largely better than, okay, the negative 20.3%, which was recorded in the previous month. Okay, so again, all the economic data coming out yesterday was a tad below or mostly below market expectations. So this is an example of mixed economic data which we are seeing for the last 2 weeks. Okay, so yeah, so again, as mentioned, the reading comes in way better than a 20.4% contraction in the month of April. And of course, just now we mentioned on the US Consumer Price Index data, the consumer price increased by 0.6%. And again, it is technically a slight good news, or some good news in terms of consumer spending. So we see this as a major gain since August 2012. And of course, this also ended 3 straight months of declines. Okay, so yeah, so all of these are additional items. UK pound, we'll be talking about it during the technical charts analysis section, together with gold prices and also US WTI spot prices. Okay, so yeah, so just watch out for the UK pound, and also for, I would say, the euro dollar should be quite active today. Yeah, so if you guys are focusing and trading on these pairs, the latest sentiment for the UK pound is slightly bullish, okay, and for the US dollar it remains relatively bearish. Okay, so let us move on to the technical charts analysis section.